And to keep moving forward with, the morning ritual seems to be working well for some. Hopefully it's working well for you. So I'd like to say good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Raul. Good morning, Lex. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Sky. Good morning. Oh, 3 days on the road. You ever listen to the Yonder Mountain String Band? 3 days on the road. Check that out. Some of their old stuff is great. We spent a lot of time listening to those guys on the road. We heard about them. We first heard about them at the 25th anniversary of the Bluegrass Festival, the 25th anniversary there. And then a good friend who's a law practitioner is very excited about that band. Very excited about that street band. The singer mandolin player passed away not too long ago. But I highly recommend checking them out. They're a tremendous amount of fun. Instead of 3 days on the road, it's 30 days on the road. Maybe I'm coming home. Good stuff. I think Sky, you guys especially appreciate that. Hey, Anthony, Mr. Torello's in the house. Good morning, Raul! Exclamation point. Alright, so I'm ready to start, I think. Just about ready. I'm training my other stools out for a drum frame. So we'll see how that works out. How DW makes those long, big drum frames. This is not one of those. I think it's a little high. They work on cutting it to get it even lower. RGC, good morning. That's So if you're just tuning in, like for you, RGC specifically, if you're still here, which I'm not sure, maybe you're still here after making a comment like that. I have no idea. Usually people like that come and go. But if you're still here, I just wanted to let you know what you're actually wandering yourself into. This is a morning ritual for guitar growth, not morning ritual for eating boogers. So, sorry to disappoint. Good morning, Jill. We're just kind of getting RGC up to speed. A few posts ahead of you, just what it is we're actually doing here. So thank you for coming, Jill. And it is about playing the guitar. For better or worse. I'm thinking for better. Unless you're saying you'll eat a burger for $2. I got $60 that says you won't eat a bucket of it. Funny stuff, though, isn't it? Funny stuff, internet people. Fortunately for us, we have a couple of blue wrenches that are towing the line here for all of us. So it's to control remains light and light. So what do you say? Are you kind of ready? Do you feel ready to jump in and hit it? Me too. Yeah, I know it. Right. So when you see these down the road, 10 years down the road, you look at some of these live chats and you'll be like, you know, funny stuff. So 1E and a 2, TE and a bogey. And the fingers 2 and 4, frets 10 and 12, and you know what's going on. So I'll start with you. We'll start again so that you can join if you would like. 1E and a 2, boogie woogie. Yeah, it's always, man, we've been missing your, the McDonough sentiment. So good to have you back, though. Yeah, I'll take you off. So this is just a really simple, basically just it's not about being lazy. I don't know if you followed any of the board chemistry videos that released this weekend. If you did, these were like 11 sus chords and then, 11, 7 dominant 7 with the 11 added. So we had to plug 1, 3, 5, flat 7 and 11s into the chords, and some of those chord voicings, I don't know. Some of those chord voicings were just a little bit, just a little bit wacky. So I'm already feeling the heat. I think we've got rain here all week, but it looks like next week I'll likely start working on some outdoor starts. So we'll start working on some outdoor stuff, and you'll be able to hear some of the birds. You'll likely see some of the birds that are sort of like indigenous to the area, and some are common North American birds, and some are not so common. Some are what you would call mega. They're on your mega list. Right here in my yard where we live, there's a list. We have the Audubon Society National, blah blah blah. They all stop. There's a constant, steady stream of vans and tourists from all over the world that come and just look at the birds because we have one of the last few colonies. Yeah, we do have bluebird studio. I started calling it Woodpecker Studio because the woodpecker was banging holes in the pine siding and interrupted quite a few recordings which I had left in the recordings. And I thought the woodpecker was getting ready for winter. Of course, he went elsewhere for winter, and in spring, we had some bluebirds moving into the holes. You can just imagine he's pecking away, looking for some stuff, little tasty nuggets, and then he opens up into a void, and then so he moves over to the next board and starts pecking away past it. There are two little holes in this north-facing side of this particular building, which are now inhabited by chirping baby bluebirds. So our good friend Scott Fish mentioned, why not call it Bluebird Studio? So that's a Scott Fish. Yeah, hillbillies, that's right. Except we live in lakes regions, you know what I mean? So where I'm from, the state's like 90% water. Hills, there's the Appalachian Trail runs right through it and completes itself, or begins itself. It's the northern terminus of the hillbillies. A little altitude, so we're sticking it with 2 and 3 on 10 and 12, and we're just going to hit it, and we are going to hit it hard. Some of my neighbors say had 1E and 2, TE and a 4. So, Gary, what are you doing this morning? And I say, he says he's got his hose, like miles of hose, hundreds of feet anyway, hose out to his back 40. I said, what on earth are you doing? And he says, I'm watering my apple trees. watering them half. Watering them half. So that's when you know you've got a serious watering coming. So let's see. Still working fingers 2 and 3, and I hope you're here, and I hope you enjoy the theater. But if you don't, you know, it's good. There's a really great humorist. So some of the humorists that you might know from Maine, you know, the Tim Samples and the Bob Marleys. You may have heard of them. They're not really from here. They come from away. And they buy these properties, and then they gate it all off to like local, and they close off snowmobile trails that have been here for generations. And it's really not a funny thing. You know, they think they're comedians. They're not really comedians. The funny comedian, though, the main humorist you might find funny, really skillful in his delivery, is the late, great Joe Perham. Perham. He's available on, you know, Apple Music. You can find him on Apple Music if you're into humor. 1E and 2. Frets 10 and 12, 1 and 2. Yeah, it feels good to be playing the guitar. We did a little bit of filming this weekend. My brother's got I'm not sure if I'm going to, I think I'm going to release it here on this channel. You know, as a widescreen. We'll do the whole widescreen video, sort of like the uncut version. What we wrote, you know, sort of a rock tune. We just composed a quick rock tune that supports his guitar. He's got these really cool guitars. He's branding the guitars, and he's building these and finishing them, and really having the time of his life doing it, and revisiting and re-exploring that part from his past. And so George Carlin, you gotta love George Carlin. This guy is like George Carlin, but he's like the super straight, you know, old timer white dude that's like just super straight, but he's super funny, and you don't know where he's going until he brings you there, and then you're like, how did I not see that coming? Super witty. I haven't heard comedy quite like his. There are a couple of new people that are sort of hitting it, but I think Raoul, you'd certainly appreciate Joe Perham's sense of humor and sense of wit. Good morning, crew from the north. How are you? All right, so we're starting with fingers. What are we doing? What are we doing today? Let's go ahead and check out. Bear with me. Just gotta breathe a little bit. And it's a Monday morning, and I feel like it's like Wednesday. So I just need to pay some respects where respects are due for the Monday morning get started. Here I'm setting my intention for my practice, and if you would like to, you can also set your intention for this rehearsal, which is, you know, it's supposed to be something for you, and something related to guitar, or, you know, if you have some life things that you need to allocate some time and energy to, maybe it's that. So let's go ahead and try fingers. Let's go ahead and try fingers 2 and 3. Wayne Farley, good morning. You're seeing it happen here right now. It's full on just acoustic guitar morning. This is a complete we're in the middle of rebuilding something in this new location, and well, we have another location sort of under construction, so we're still finding our way back to order. But as you know, you started out with me this year, you kind of agreed that if you were going to stick it out, that there would be a lot of sort of like a real an alleged guitar practitioner. And some of it is just to allow myself some time to think and observe the works of God's creation. And then part of that translates back to, the guitar for me. So let's go ahead and use fingers 2 and 4. So press 9 and 12. 1 E and a 2. C, E, and a 4. So we started this song that we wrote this weekend, Friday morning, for a few hours. We wrote all of the parts, recorded all of the parts, did a little bit of visual lip syncing to the parts, and then did it all on this really cool Telecaster guitar that he's going to have for sale. I was so surprised that we could get these tones out of it. It's been a while, so we'll talk a little bit about how that unfolded if you're interested later on. I've been really enjoying cutting that video down and just looking at all the subtleties of what is going on there. So fingers 1 and 3 on 9 and 12. 1 E and a 2. Here we go. Joe, J-O-E, Carey, P-E-R-H-A-M, as in top of the morning to you again. Mark, how are you? Good morning, Bernie. Good morning. We're all sort of coming to life. Good quality breath manners. Oh, I did open up a beginner Facebook, sort of like beginner IGC. Facebook is Jason Carey Guitar Official, and then IG is Jason Carey Guitar. TikTok's Jason Carey Guitar. I opened up a TikTok specifically for our friend Anthony. Oh shoot. So let's go ahead and do fingers 1 and 4 on fret 7 and 12. 1 E and a 2. Here we go. Hey Clay, good morning. Welcome back. Ron, good morning. Brother, place there I can. You will be happy to know that I can place there As a matter of fact, it's funny you mention it because we dialed in the tone for the last. So there was a riff. The riff was repeated. We wrote the song Friday, promoting the guitar that my brothers built and put together. And he has a number of them that he's got on hand. Stretch early day. Let's go ahead and give oh, it's not really early, is it? I've been just doing it while talking. I had a little shoulder injury this weekend too, so bear with me. So we've got a straight elbow, and then we've got a really nice just forward. We're just pulling that hand back, 15 clicks, 16 clicks. When I do this, I still can't believe that people are watching like a middle-aged white dude on the internet do this. It just seems, some of it sort of seems wrong to me. That's just weird, you know. But I guess it is what it is. It is a source for me. It's a resource for me. A resource that I was going to use anyway. And since I'm here, I think there's a little bit of value in what you're recording. Good. Oh, it was magic. The 5 caught me. There's just so much to do. And so much to talk about. I would love to talk about with you, but alas, I must remain focused for this focus. The remainder of the morning rituals. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and you are absolutely more than welcome to join us. Bring your guitar and your good, wonderful attitude, and we can just jump in together. We're starting with fingers 2 and 3 and 4, but this time we're using fingers, contiguous frets here, 10, 11, and 12. So 1 E and a 2, and a T E and a 4 E and a... Hey Jill, I bought my guitar, my 19-year-old son a guitar this weekend for his birthday. Let him pick it out? No way. That's awesome. Oh, very cool. Wow, good for you. That's such a great experience. One that I can, many here can attest that we can provide testimony that will be a lasting memory. That will be a memory that lives on for a long time. Can you wish him a happy birthday from all of us here? What a wonderful thing to do. What a beautiful thing. So you have now passed the torch along. Good for you. I think the next one we'll go ahead and do 5s, if you don't mind. Jason, should I be using the tips of my fingers trying to isolate each note from the string? Above and below. Okay, yeah, bring it in. Great question, Sky. I see that. Coffee. That's right. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, buddy. I knew I had something to do. So I started working on keeping a list of ideas here too. I don't know if you can see, but this is my daily workbook. I'm just working through those. This is sitting on the desk of critical tasks to be done. Come heck or high water during the day. So I'm always thinking about things. So one of the things that I wanted to complete was answering Sky's question. So what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about that. Instead of using 5s, I'll go ahead and use 4 attacks per beat. We'll start here, and I'm going to reposition myself. I'm not sure if this is helpful or not, but you can take a look at the left of my fret hand. And my fret hand is just it's nothing spectacular, but this represents a lot of hours of work and development, research and development. So it's something like this. It's got the thumb is somewhere in the middle of the index and pinky fingers. So I may distribute power to all of the fingers evenly. And it's not, it's fortunately for me, it's not rocket science, but I only needed to hear that one time in my life because distribution of power can be an important concept to understand and fold into our day-to-day living. Shared obligation that involves public trust, which involves, there's a lot of discussion there, but eventually all fingers become capable, as capable as all of the other fingers. Then you can, if you are working on, sweep style picking, right? Therefore, I think that if you're working sweeps or you're working there are reasons why a climber might smear his or her foot instead of using a little pointy toe to be detail oriented. There's a reason there's a smear, because you need to get more surface area to increase more friction, or just grab more surface area. But if you really need to do the detail work, you're on point, like a ballerina. And when you really work in the point like that, Sky, I find that it's super important to have the nails trimmed way back. Because now, if your fretboard isn't like knee-based fretboard, if it's not scalloped for the whole, you might run into the fretboard with a fingernail and therefore limit the capacity of a technical request that you need to accomplish. So accomplishing that objective means I'm trying to focus on one string at a time, and then you're right. And here is where my finger actually is making an impression right now. I'm going to share it with you. But I'm making an impression on the finger where it actually sits on the string, so you can see the groove. So you can see the groove of where it is. It's right on the tip of that distal phalange. And then the second finger would be, typically here. And there's a sweet spot, I think, if you're really working technical. Like the shirt, is that your oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Yep. Cool. Yeah, we have a few different things going, but so here's the fingertip, right? And you can see that it's not, sometimes I'll get lazy and not speak full words or use a different part of my finger. Maybe it's not technically necessary to use the point of the fingertip. So, but for this exercise, I would include, that's right, I was wondering the same thing, Justin, how's the so fingers 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and for the most part using fingertips. Hey Richard, good morning. I don't know. I did not see you there. Yeah, I mean, you photograph $20 million homes, you know what I mean? Like, photographing is really it's a really great skill to have. It's a really wonderful discipline to contemplate. The late great Philip Carey used to capture indigenous peoples, and some indigenous peoples believe that if you believe that if you are being captured by the camera, so too is your soul eternally captured by the camera, which is terrifying for some people. So you can imagine not wanting to be captured by the camera. let's start there. But you can see I'm readjusting my situation here, and I don't have my stool handy, so I'm going to use my toes. I am going to get up here a little bit with my toes. They're going to look like this. And so I'll do this for a small period of time. I won't be doing that as an extended approach. But I do need to have my access to be able to lean forward and change my posture a little bit here. So fingers 10, let's do 9 and 10, 9 and 11 and 13. And we'll start with fingers 2 and 3 with this stretches. So if you did, like I started to explain earlier today, if you did see the Ted Green Core Chemistry series that dropped this weekend, you'll notice that like right away that some of those voices were pretty stretchy, and these exercises are indeed a rite of passage into the valley of core chemistry. Okay, so 1E added to 9, 11, 13, go. I'm standing from my footstool because this is really not sustainable option. This is a tremendously challenging exercise. It requires breathing on all cylinders. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing with fingers 1, 2, 3, on frets 9 and 11 and 13. So 1E and a 2E and a here we go. Yeah. I should be like hitting yourself in the thumb really hard or hard with a hammer, with a ball peen hammer. And if the answer is yes, you're gonna love this exercise. Yeah, that's right. All right, we'll go ahead and just do another quick stretch, and hopefully you're still hanging out. Let's go ahead and just kind of get this done. This is a super simple, super easy, just a great opportunity to be in front of the camera, just stretching away. That's right. And if you'd like to, you can try it too. It's very simple. It's just a straight forearm, and it's super healthy for the guitar practitioner. And we'll go ahead and just kind of get it down. We'll bend it down. And then what we'll do is we'll transfer from this arm and do everything that we did here. That's right, Mark, smash that like button. That's right, thank you very kindly for reminding me. If you are here And if you have friends, if you're here and you have a friend who's a guitar player and you think that person might enjoy this time together in the morning and they have the time to spend, please invite them if you have it in your heart to do so. All right, so we have this very nice stretch cycle that we're nearing completion with. Hey, Carey, good morning. Steely Dan. Asia, yeah, we'll get something from Asia up here. Just wonderful stuff. You know, unbelievable town. Recording, it's everything about it. It's just so good. Maybe the perfect album. You know, Paul Simon's Graceland's pretty darn near, pretty close to perfect, I think. All right. All right, first in the live chat. Graceland was a perfect, it was so well recorded, yeah. All right. Never tried it on Steaks Raoul. Not yet, Kevin Weed. Never tried it on TV. Oh, gotcha. You're bottling up honey right now. Hey, Marlon, we just said your name this morning. Your ears must be ringing. Wow, great to see you, friend. Yeah, great. You're still kicking around the live chat. Excellent, excellent. All right, so I wanted to open this up. You know, so when we get to the point after we get to fingers 1, 2, and 3, and 4, doing those stretches, I wanted to just open it up for you. If you have something that you wanted to specifically work on today, I'm going to take the, don't hit it yet because you don't know what I'm going to say. But if you have something, the very first person that, hopefully it's the first person, the first 1 or 2 or 3, because if it's something I can't do, we'll have to have a little discussion. But I wanted to open it up to you. If you wanted to drive the cart this morning and come around the bend, you know, we'll have to take the high road, and then as we get around the bank of the turn, just start pressing on the gas to pull ourselves out. And but that's what I really would like to do this morning with our specialization moments, the last 15 minutes. So we have a few more minutes of warm-up. So if you have a specific thing that you'd like to work on, a specific question that you think could benefit all of us here, don't hesitate to let us know now. You can start hitting the live chat with your requests, and we can start there as soon as we finish fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then the stretches, and then the kickstand. You know the kickstand. So 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You know what's going on. That's right. And I'll keep an eye on that live chat, and hopefully we can, you know, find some path forward that's congruent for all of us here. Yeah. And I love the questions. The questions are great. And sometimes it's hard to ask questions because then I wonder, well, is this a stupid question? And all of that stuff. So ask if you want. You know, here we go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know, no deposit, no return. So after you get stung in the nose, does it, I mean, I've seen beekeepers, we have all of the suits and the smokers and stuff, but I don't go anywhere near our hives without having all of the gear and the gloves and stuff on, you know what I mean? But I know people just do it without protection, and they know how much smoke to use and not to over smoke them and all of that stuff. I don't really have that touch yet. Checking out Big River. You ever learn any of those there's 1 and 2 and 3 stretch 4. 1 E and 2. I would work on the title track. 9, 10, 11, and 13. 1 E and 2, and we're on 2 and 4. Go. Yeah, here we go. All right, there you go. Hybrid picking. Good one. And Kevin with confirmation. Good. I began teaching a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Robbie Smith, cage system explained. Short version will work. Okay, so the cage system. So what's the cage system? How would address, all right, how would address towards the A chord in a D, C, G, A chord progression? I had no suit on. I figured you probably did not have a suit on. It's just like, safety costs money, you know what I mean? Safety costs time, time costs money. I figured. I know once you get doing it for a while, it's like, yeah, you forget to put the harness on, you fall off the second deck, and then you just figure out how to roll with it. Been there, done that. Coming off of a roof deck, and I took a whole, like one of those, those little hangers that hang the trusses on the roof? Well, one of those was folded up and over with a little metal burr, and it ripped my entire leg open on the way down. I really didn't want to slide off that roof, but I went. And took a pretty good rip all the way down. That's not something I really shared with many people. But, all right, so we've got, did we do the kickstand here? That was 4. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 on 9, 10, 11, and 12, and we'll kick it back to fret number 8, 10, 11, and 12. 1 E and 2 E and here we go. E and sister, awesome, man. What a great, you probably had it on like VHS or something. Was it Sony mini disc then or something? Oh, gotcha, right. Swarms, dealing with swarms it's a different thing. Gave up flying a while ago. Yeah, there you go. It's the sudden stop that gets you every single time. Forgot the D, cage, good. Yeah. Not sure if you read this, but you really inspired me to play the guitar. I'm in love with electric, so I went and got the Jackson Dinky. Nice purchase. You are amazing and an inspiration. That is something to hear. I'll tell you what. I'll take that all day long. That warms my heart, and it's enough to bring a grown man to tears to hear that kind of thing. It's like, it's as if we are standing at 15,000 feet and looking out over the valley as it ripples and ragged, and then you're looking at your climbing mate and you're saying, I do believe that God is present. And it's just enough to make a grown man, bring a grown man to tears. So thank you very kindly. I appreciate that. Certainly appreciate that. And I hope you stick around, right? And so you're going to know, as we go through this year, you can see that I'm having a rough start this morning. Like if you go back and watch the beginning of the video, just because we have a rough start or a rough patch, or I get 4 hours of sleep a couple of times last week, and it's like, But